Recently, there has been a lot of discussion about the collaborations in Fortnite and if the game is leaning a little bit too heavily into outside IPs and not investing enough in its own story. As somebody who's still relatively new to the game, I kind of feel I have a unique view of everything, so I wanted to take some time to sit down with you guys and discuss my thoughts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So first off, the good. One thing that we can say about the collaborations in Fortnite is they are always done pretty well. Epic Games likes to do justice to the IPs that they're bringing to the game, it seems, and they pay attention to the smallest details and make sure that the actual personality and charm of whatever they're bringing into the game is translated over. For instance, with the South Park collaboration, it doesn't feel like regular characters with a South Park coat of paint over it, or they're just wearing the kids' snow outfits. These are Stan, Kyle, Kenny, Cartman, and Butters. Sure, they're having to use mech suits just to make the hitbox the same as other characters, but these are those characters. They have that distinct look and feel about them, and we even got Towley in the game. Sure, they had to kind of neuter him and not really do any of his main catchphrases because they're all related to doing drugs, but he's in the game. The devs put a ton of love and care into the collaborations that they do, and I love that about this game. Another good thing about collaborations, in my opinion, is it does bring people to the game that normally would not have given it a shot. I've told this story before, but I downloaded the game and bought Michael Myers before ever actually playing a match, just because I was a big fan of Halloween growing up. I love those movies, so being able to play as the Shape in Fortnite was something that I thought I might eventually do, even though the game didn't interest me at the time. And I can tell you, I'm really glad I did, because having it downloaded already on my PlayStation was one of the main reasons I decided to make a video on it in the first place, and as a result, fell in love with the game. I think sometimes it's easy for us to lose sight of the fact that a lot of people are downloading this game still. There are still new players coming to the game. If you don't believe that, just look at me. I started at the beginning of Chapter 6, and I know that I've had people comment on this channel who started after I did. These collaborations are an important way that Epic Games keeps new blood pumping into the game to make up for players who are no longer playing it. So yes, at the end of the day, at least my logical brain thinks that collaborations are a very important part of what makes Fortnite Fortnite. It is the metaverse game, after all, where anyone and everyone can be included in the game. But I don't think that everything is sunshine and rainbows, so let's take some time to discuss the things I maybe don't like as much about the collaborations. One thing that I know a lot of people have talked about in my comments and I've seen on other videos is collaboration fatigue. And I have to say, even as a newer player, I'm kind of understanding where those people are coming from. It seems like every week we have some announcement of some new collaboration with a big IP, and then before we can even get excited for that, they're announcing another one that's coming the week after. I like having options, I like being spoiled for choice, but I don't like feeling like there's just wave after wave of items for me to purchase being thrown at my face every time I log into the game or check their social medias. There are already so many things to purchase in Fortnite, just counting the outfits, not even counting pickaxes and back blings and kicks and all the other things that you can purchase. Just the outfits. There are so many that if you purchased all of them, then, I don't know, you must be like an oil baron or something. I don't know how you would even begin to do that. For the average player, this feels overwhelming. It feels like you're constantly being overstimulated by new things being injected into the game, all demanding your attention, asking for your V-Bucks, and then by the time you do decide, okay, I really like this franchise or this movie, I'm going to pick up this skin, guess what? 2 weeks later, another one of your favorites is in the game. I get that this is a business. I get that Epic Games needs to make money, especially with this being a free-to-play game. But at a certain point, it gets exhausting just having all of these options constantly thrown at you. Another negative in my opinion is I do feel like Fortnite's identity has suffered a little bit due to the collaborations. Before I played the game, I just thought this was kind of a weird mashup, almost like Super Smash Brothers or that Looney Tunes game that came out a little while ago I can't remember the name of. But essentially what I'm saying is my concept of Fortnite before I played the game is A, that's the game where you shoot people and build, and B, that's the game where anyone and everyone can be in the game. I knew nothing about the story. I knew nothing about the original characters or what made the game important and exciting in Chapter 1, because all of that, it seems, has kind of been pushed to the back burner. The few things I know about the Imagined Order or the Seven, I know because I did outside research or people in the comments filled me in. None of the stuff that actually makes Fortnite feels like it's in the game anymore, and a big part of the reason is because it's been pushed out by all these collaborations. Take this battle pass for instance. I personally think it's one of the best battle passes that we've got since I started playing the game. Carter Wu, Cat Holloway, the Dark Voyager, all of them are very cool skins and each and every one has their own distinct style. But when I think of Chapter 7, I'm going to remember, oh, that's when we got the bride from Kill Bill and Marty McFly showed up. The outside IPs, while being hype, overshadow the original characters, and that's where I kind of have a problem with the game. It doesn't so much feel like to me that Fortnite has an identity of its own, but instead it feels like it's a shape-shifting creature that is constantly putting on different masks trying to keep me excited and engaged. Sure, it's entertaining in the short term, but I don't really have a good feel on what it is. And I feel like maybe a lot of people are feeling a similar way that I do. Maybe that identity that they loved about this game is being lost and diluted by just a constant influx of new collaborations. The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about with the collaborations is more of a weird thing that I've noticed. Of course, I'm speaking strictly from my own experience, so let me know in the comments below if you feel differently. But after a certain point, all of these collaborations, all of these new exciting characters finally being dropped into the game kind of lost all meaning to me. Sure, I get surprised from time to time, like I didn't expect Danny Phantom to show up, but instantly I thought, well, I'm not really going to pick that up because I don't like how the skin looks. I was a fan of the show, but not a super big fan. Plus, there's probably going to be something new next week I may want to purchase with my extra V-Bucks, so I'm not even going to bother. In having a constant stream of exciting new things being shown to me, I've kind of grown numb to it. And in a lot of ways, all of these new collaborations make future ones feel less special. I've had some interesting comments in my time covering this game. Some complaining that somehow a channel like mine with less than 2,000 subscribers is why the game has gone the way it has and, quote, gone to crap. Not sure why you think I have that much influence, but I appreciate the sentiment. But sometimes they say that new players like me only want to see those collaborations, and I really don't think that's the case. As I said earlier, that may be the thing that gets us through the door or makes us give the game a second look, but I don't think that anybody is at this point sticking around for all of the collaborations. If anything, I am understanding more and more why older players are feeling like this game is not what it previously was, or why people are so tired of this constant flow of new things to buy. This is supposed to be a game about squatting up with your friends and trying to take down enemy teams while having fun in a colorful and cartoony atmosphere. I don't think anybody wants it to be about collecting all of the skins like they're Pokemon or something. Nobody's out here trying to 100% the locker, or at least I hope they're not, because there are so many better things you could be doing with that money than just strictly buying cosmetics in a video game, but that's a separate conversation. I guess all of this is to say that I feel weird because I'm kind of experiencing what fans of this game from Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 experience, but in reverse. Those OG players got to watch this game that they loved, it had a unique identity, slowly morph and evolve into just a capitalist nightmare of constantly advertising and bringing in different IPs to try and get other people's attention that don't play the game. And for me, it kind of feels like the opposite. Sure, I was brought in by one of these IPs that they collaborated with, but once I got into the game, once I actually fell in love with what the game had to offer, the mechanics, the movement. I found myself wanting to learn more about what Fortnite was, what made it the game that everyone fell in love with all those years ago. And unfortunately, it looks like what I'm searching for has been lost. Those iconic things that made Fortnite have been replaced by Simpsons mini-seasons or Kim Kardashian. So while those OG players are mourning the game that they knew that no longer exists, I'm personally feeling down because I never got to experience it in the first place. Like I've said in previous videos, I'm no stranger to cosmetics. I've played Destiny 2, I've played Apex Legends, and I've put more money than I care to admit to into those games. I have no problem supporting a game with in-game purchases. But what I do have an issue with is when a game's identity becomes those in-game purchases. When EA got a little too greedy with Apex Legends, I took a step away. When new content in Destiny really just meant another opportunity for Bungie to sell us something, I took a step away. And I guess at the end of the day, I just feel bad for those who felt like they were forced out of Fortnite, who felt like this is all the game is, this is all it's going to be going forward. I think that Epic Games really needs to evaluate things and maybe pull back a little bit. I don't think anyone has an issue with the number of collaborations that they're doing, but more so the frequency. If they slowed their roll a little bit, made it so that these collaborations felt special again when they finally did come out, and really invested more time into building up the game's story, the game's unique characters, I feel like a lot of people would be happier overall with the experience, new players included. I'm not going to stick around because the Scooby-Doo gang is here or because I can have SpongeBob SquarePants as a pet. I'm going to stick around because I love this game, and I want more of this game. I don't know. Like I said, this has been a hot topic in the Fortnite community, so I wanted to make sure to give you guys my thoughts. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you agree with me or not. Give me your opinions on everything. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and hype it up if you can. And if you really enjoyed, go ahead and share it with a friend. As always, I'm Haunted House, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Remember to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you, and I'll see you in the next one, friends.